Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is for you in the world. It's a great plumping pleasure, as usual, to be in your presence. It's another Friday. We're here to educate, to empower, but most importantly, our goal is to democratize IT, right? We're here to just help take away the myth surrounding the whole concept of IT, to help everyday people like you, including myself, sitting here, and the hundreds of other people we've been able to help get in the industry. We have a very simple goal while we come to you every day. We want to be able to provide information of value, information that is going to help you be able to give you not only the confidence, build the belief system, but also give you the skills and the knowledge with which you can use to get into the industry, thrive, and be successful. And most importantly, also be able to generate a beautiful life out of that, right? Like I always say, from the get go, a lot of people, when they hear about IT from a distance, they are thinking of this phenomenal thing that involves only people who are smart, people who are very intelligent, geniuses, the top of the class, and all that good stuff. And no disrespect to the local smart people on earth, those people who certainly have an IQ higher than everybody. But the beauty about IT today, unlike 40, 20, 30 years ago, is that it's open and available to everybody who is hungry enough and who just wants to achieve and make something productive of their life. It's usually said in life that you miss 100% of shots you don't take. And you and me know for a fact that none of us are going to get out of here alive. So, what do you really have to lose? What do you really have to lose? Another beautiful aspect about IT is that it applies to everybody across a broad spectrum, right? If you're in your 20s, you're just getting into college, or you just graduated from college, you're still thinking of what to do. This is the industry of advice you should get into while you're thinking of what to do, right? If you're out of college already, you're working. Of course, you've been working for a while and you're in your mid-career now, just say in your 30s, in your late 20s, and you're thinking, I'm not sure I really enjoy what I do. While you're thinking of what next to do, come into the IT industry, right? Because it has room for everybody. A lot of people, when they think about IT, they start thinking about coding. They start thinking about writing some different complicated scripts, making computers do magic. No, a cross section of people who work in IT, number one, have no background in computers. Number two, they don't know how to code, including myself talking to you. And I've been successful in the industry for 11 years today, right? So if you are in your late 30s, you're in your 40s, you're in a mid-career challenge, you're thinking of pivoting, this is an industry you want to be part of. This is where it is happening right now. I am telling you, and you quote me anywhere, this is the biggest kept secret in the world today. The IT industry is one of the top employing and top paying industries in the world today. And one of the beautiful things about the IT industry is that the barrier of entry is relatively low. What do I mean by that? Most of you listening to me, I'm assuming for those who were able to make it to college and graduate from college, especially out of your local countries, let's say in a country like America, you know exactly what it costs. An average college cost in America is somewhere around 50 to 100,000 to get a bachelor's degree, for God's sake. And a lot of times, the bachelor's degrees you're going to get, a cross section of them will never pay you up to $100,000 a year. It's a fact. I didn't create that. It's statistics that is out there, right? And of course, in other industries like an engineering and all these other industries, they will tell you about all kinds of qualifications you need to have to get in and be able to work and make some good money in those industries. In the IT industry, unfortunately, the barrier of entry is low. What I mean by that is that number one, you don't need to pass my entrance exam. Number two, you don't need to be a genius. And number three, because of companies like Icon IT, we've been able to bring forth the ability to train you, give you the knowledge, give you the skill at a very diminished cost for different programs, which you can use the skills, you can use the knowledge, you build the ability, you get into the industry, and you start off making six figures and above. I know for a lot of people, it might sound like a myth. It did sound like that to me too the first time I sat somewhere and somebody talked to me about opportunities in the IT industry. But I want to tell you, I am on a public platform. Thousands of people are watching. This is going to be on a record. So I cannot tell you anything that I'm not sure. that I don't believe in, that I don't know. So everything I'll be telling you is not stuff that we've read, it's stuff that we've experienced, and we've helped hundreds of other people experience the same thing, right? So if you're sitting there and you've been contemplating, what is it I can do? How can I get in the industry? What can I do? How can I get involved in the industry? This is the perfect opportunity for you. This is a time when you really want to be connected to this industry. I know for some people living in the US, of course, even in most parts of the world, you felt a little bit of, there've been a lot of talk about, recession, the economy is shaky, gas prices is getting expensive, life is getting expensive. Unfortunately, it's affecting other industries, but the IT industry is resilient. In fact, they're instead trying to hire more people. You know why? Because when things get tough, people need IT more. Think about 2 years ago when there was the COVID-19 pandemic around the world. A lot of people couldn't go out to work. A lot of people had to stay at home. Their groceries had to be delivered. Their food had to be delivered. Their medications had to be delivered. All those things, technology companies were building their capacity. Remember that is during COVID that a lot of companies like Zoom for remote telecommunication became very popular. A lot of companies like StreamYard, which is a platform to help stream, content around the world, became popular. Today, we have a completely new economy in the world. The world is advancing at a very rapid pace, right? More than ever before today, you could actually sit in your office, you create a TV station, you create a TV program, you produce content on a daily basis, you put it on YouTube, and people will come and watch, and YouTube will pay you for the number of people that watch. All of this is happening because of technology. Today, we're sitting here and you're listening to me talk. You're watching me from anywhere in the world that you might be, right? But the one thing you need to realize is that there are thousands of people who are working behind the scenes to make this possible, and they all work in the IT industry. So I'm glad to have you. You're welcome. If you can hear me very well, I want you to type in the chat hungry. If you can hear me well and you're serious about what you want, type in the chat hungry. We're excited to have you. Yeah, please go ahead. If you're watching us from Facebook, subscribe to our Facebook channel. Subscribe to our Facebook community. In that community, it's a no commitment community. You don't have to pay anything to get in. We share information free of charge, information that elsewhere you need to pay for. Our goal with the community is to have people of like-minded abilities and attitude, people who want to go in the same direction. Even if you're just curious to know what is happening, join our community, right? We share a lot of very vital information. If you're watching us from YouTube, this is going to help us a lot. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, share our videos so other people can learn from it. They say sharing is caring, right? You gain a lot in life when you share, because when you share, a lot of other people can benefit. In fact, the way I got to learn about the IT industry is through somebody who was in the industry and shared a video to, and I heard about it, and then I talked to my cousin and I got involved, right? So don't sit on the opportunity alone. Even if it doesn't apply to you watching today, if you're just joining us out of curiosity, go ahead and share the video. In addition to that, of course, we have about 30 to 40 minutes today to talk to you, right? And if we're not able to cover everything you are interested in today, please, there's a link on the screen. Go ahead, click on that link, please. You'll be able to book a 15-minute one-on-one appointment with me or one of our team members. It's free. It's no commitment. You don't have to commit to anything. If you just want to understand a little bit more about the industry or you have some specific questions, book a one-on-one appointment, join us, right? And we'll be able to walk you a little bit through that and give you some advice on the different aspects of the industry, what different programs are available. Because in the industry, we have programs like Oracle Database Administrator, we have programs like Scrum Master, we have programs like AWS programs, and all these different programs are paying tons of money to people. All these different programs, I can guarantee you, are paying a lot of money to people. Let me just give you a sense, right? Let me just give you a sense of what it is. If you can see my screen, right? Let me give you a sense of what I'm talking about. These are just 4 different programs, and this is not all, right? The industry has a lot of different programs, but these are some of the key core programs that even here at Icon IT we're able to teach people, help people get the skill, get the knowledge, and be able to move into the IT industry, right? And if you look below these different programs, you'll see the average starting pay annually for people who get into the program, right? If you're interested in Scrum Master is basically a program where you serve as a facilitator in the IT industry. You don't have to need to know how to code. You don't have to need to know all the technical abilities of computers and everything. You just need to be able to help different teams of programmers and different teams of computer people to be able to achieve their goal, right? In addition to that, you have the AWS certified architect program. I'm sure you've heard about AWS. You've heard about Amazon, I'm sure. Amazon is the #1 distributor in the world, right? It's the #1 online marketplace. But in addition to that, they also run technology products that they sell to other companies to run their businesses on their platform. And so as an AWS solutions architect, what you really be doing is you'll be managing the AWS platform. And I don't want you to hear these big words and be thinking, this thing sounds so complicated. I never did science. Forget about it. 60 to 65% of people who work in the IT industry don't come from a computer background. They had nothing to do with computers before they joined the industry, right? They just took a program like this. They listened to somebody talk about the possibilities. They attended classes, took a program, and today they're having a beautiful life, right? So an AWS certified solutions architect kicks off with about $122,000. Most of our programs are about 6 weeks long, right? 2 nights a week. Some of them are a little bit longer than 6 weeks. It just depends on the program. But the one thing I want to guarantee you is that from our end, we come with 200%. We make sure we give you the skill. We make sure we give you the knowledge. We give you the guidance. We give you the coaching. We help you, coach you on how to build resumes that apply to the IT industry. And our goal is to be able to help you compete and get into a job in the IT space. This is the new oil. Many years ago, they talked a lot about this oil industry. Everybody was flocking towards becoming a petroleum engineer. But of course, to become a petroleum engineer, it takes a long time of schooling. It takes a lot of tuition and all of that. I can tell you, pound on pound, return on investment, there is nothing like the IT industry. I'll give you a simple example of myself, right? I spent about $4,000 to learn to become an Oracle database administrator. It took me a couple of months to do that. And when I came out my first pay at that time, 10 years ago, they offered me a $95,000 a year contract. In addition to that, it was a full-time job. In addition to that, they gave me $7,000 for my sign-on bonus just for accepting to work with that company. And then they gave me $4,000 to relocate me from where I was, which was Minnesota, to Texas, where I live today, right? But here's the beautiful thing. And now I joined the company a week into the pay period, because most companies will pay you every other week, right? Some companies pay you weekly. It just depends, but most companies will pay you every 2 weeks. So I joined the company a week into the pay period. And when I finished that first week, my first paycheck, right, which was just 1 week of work, my relocation bonus, my sign-on bonus, for the first time in my life, I received a direct deposit of close to $12,000 in my account. And I can't describe to you how it felt. I picked up the phone, I called my wife and said, "Hey, are you at work?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Call in at work, go back home, get some rest, take the kids out shopping." Life has changed and it will never be this. It will never be the same, right? So I'm sharing these experiences with you to tell you that you sitting there listening to me, I sat there like you someday too. And I can promise you, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I can tell you that my academic career has never gone beyond an average student in my class, sometimes a little bit below average in terms of passing, in terms of performance. But the one thing I learned when I joined this industry is that it doesn't matter your IQ, it doesn't matter your academic capability, it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter what part of the world you are or you come from. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter who your parents are. It doesn't matter what you've been through with your life. All that matters is how hungry are you? What is your desire? How badly do you want this? And you will get it. Because in the IT industry, a cross section of things you'll be helping to solve business problems. But you will not be solving them by creating some new solutions. You will not be creating nothing. You'll just be learning how to manage solutions that have been created. So it's basic. There are a lot of things I do at the job I do. For example, or many of my colleagues who work, there are a lot of things we do that my 16-year-old can do. Unfortunately, she just can't work here because she's a minor. In fact, there are things I do at work and I explain to my 11-year-old daughter, and she gets it like that. What does that tell you and me? It tells you and me that it's not rocket science. It's not anything too complex. What is complex is the thoughts we have in our mind. What is complex is the perception that we bring to the table, thinking that people who are involved in this industry are some kind of special, intelligent people who know more than everybody else, right? That is not true. What I'm trying to encourage you to do is number one, make a decision to join the industry. Make a decision to join the industry. Today we have courses going on. We have people from different backgrounds. We have people who have doctorate in different areas of the world, right? We have people who have the different qualifications and are coming to the industry. And it's very important to understand that when you feel that urge, when you feel that desire, right? When you want to take that step, don't postpone that decision. Don't postpone that decision. Make the decision now, not next week, not next year. I remember when I went to IT school. In fact, you people are lucky today because you can get all these classes. You can get all these different trainings coming to you live virtually. When I did IT, when I went to IT school, there was no virtual school. I had to leave my family in Minnesota, pack into my white 2005 Honda Accord 289,000 miles. It was a cold winter day. I can never forget. In January, classes were going to start on the 20th. I had to leave Minnesota to drive to Maryland, which was a 24-hour drive. I left Minnesota on the 13th. I got on the highway. I left at about 1 a.m. I got on the highway and I started driving. I didn't know how I was going to be able to survive. All I knew is that my cousin had promised me, God bless his soul, that I was going to live with him and he was going to get me enrolled into an institution to take a class like this. I hit the road from Minnesota, get to Wisconsin, the police pulls me over, I'm over speeding. I had $400 in my pocket. I had to pay a ticket of $280 on the spot because they knew I was going somewhere far. They weren't sure if I was going to pay later. They held me and I had to pay on the spot, right? So I get to Maryland, I get enrolled, and I studied Oracle Database Administrator. But here's the beautiful thing, right? The industry is like an ocean. You come into the industry, you chose what you like, and you go for it. You can start off as an Oracle Database Administrator like I did, or Scrum Master, and you get into the industry, you realize, you know what, I love that, but I have a passion for something else. And you can pivot into anything else you love. I started my career as an Oracle Database Administrator. I became an Oracle's database administrator for a few years. After that, I went into cloud sales. I was a cloud sales architect, basically helping companies design their solutions and telling them why the cloud solutions will help them better, selling for Oracle Corporation, one of the top technology companies in the world. I left that. I got tired of it. I said, you know what? I want to do something else. I don't think I love this, but it doesn't really completely satisfy my strengths. And I move over to Agile Technologies, where business and technology coincide, right? Because that is what fits my strength. So what I'm telling you is any of these courses you're seeing on the screen is just an entry point into the industry. Once you're in the industry, you will decide exactly what direction you want to go. If you're somebody who loves to code, you can go into deep coding, right? We have positions for developers, for core developers. You can go and code. If you're somebody who likes to do administration and manage a platform, or AWS is there. If you just want to be able to encourage people, motivate people, organize people, facilitate them, give them a chance to achieve the goal standing in front of them, Scrum Master is there for you, right? And many other solutions. So if you listen to me right now, please go ahead. If you're watching from Facebook or from YouTube, please, if you're on Facebook, subscribe to our community. We're going to be sending some more information. Of course, 30-40 minutes with you on the line cannot give you everything you need. If you're watching us from YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your subscription is very important to us. That algorithm helps us to be able to become more visible and share this good word with a lot more people. Don't hesitate to share our videos when they pop on anything or when you watch them on YouTube. Okay, please go ahead and share our videos and everything and be able to join us, right? And be able to take advantage of this opportunity. So today, what is going to be happening is we wanted to talk to you just a little bit about, just a second, please. Just a second. We have a guest who is joining us, and he will. Sorry. Wonderful. I have an interesting guest for you people today, and he will be joining us in a few minutes, right? And he'll be sharing some very, very important, pertinent information with you. Just hang on tight and you'll be able to enjoy him. But in the meantime, right, what I'm just trying to say is don't overthink it. You see, there is something called analysis paralysis. When you try to overanalyze, that's when you fall down flat. Don't overthink it. Don't try to ask too many questions. You don't know what you don't know until you know what you know. The one thing I know is that don't ever underestimate the resilience of the human ability, right? Think about your lives from the time you were a child, how many things you've learned in your life from scratch and you're able to excel in them. For many of us who are immigrants in America, we come to America from a lot of different backgrounds, having done many things with our lives, right? And it gives us a chance to be able to learn some new things, but not only learning some new things, it gives us a chance to also be able to apply those new things, right? So it's a great, great pleasure to have each and every one of you here present this afternoon. So I just wanted to encourage anybody who is listening to me, anybody who is paying attention to me right now. I want to say, number one, don't hesitate. I know you might have some further questions. Please click on the link on the screen. Just book a one-on-one appointment. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do, promise me, you'll just smile and we'll have a quick conversation, 15-20 minutes. If you need more time than that, I will be available and I'll be able to give you a little bit more details, more guidance as to how you can be able to assert yourself and be able to be take advantage of this industry, right? So I won't take too much of your time anymore. I will bring in somebody who is an expert in this field. And as you know, from time to time, we'll bring different experts from different fields to just come in and be able to share some knowledge, to share their experience. Today, we will be talking about the Agile space, the Scrum Master space, right? We'll be talking about the Scrum Master space. We will be talking about how you can get involved in that space, but most importantly, what the role of certifications is in that space. It's important to understand. I told you earlier that the barrier of entry in the IT industry is incredibly low. Right? We're in a time today when certifications are starting to mean more than even some advanced degrees. Because at the end of the day, in the industry, nobody really wants to know how educated you are. Nobody wants to know what kind of intelligence you have. They just want you to be able to do a job. That's why even today, you have a lot of the top IT companies like Facebook, like Google, like Amazon. They have open houses where they just bring computers and invite people. They give problems. If you can creatively solve those problems, they hire you on the spot. They don't ask you whether you have a degree, you have a this, you have a that. Of course, all of that is helpful. I'm not trying to downplay any of that. I have a degree myself. It's important. I want us to be clear, okay? But what I'm saying is that don't get caught up by that. Don't sit here and you are listening to me talk and you're telling yourself, oh, I'm not qualified enough. I don't have a degree. How am I going to do this? I don't think I'm smart. Please. It's all in your mind, right? The only thing that will stop you in getting to your dream is your mind. So this afternoon, I have a guest with me. Listen, this guy is amazing, right? I got to meet him a few years ago. You know, we started off chatting. He does photography for pleasure. That's what happens when you're working in the IT industry and making some good money. You have some, you can afford some luxuries in life, right? He walks into a store, he buys a photo camera for $4,000 because he's a passionate photography guy. He loves to take pictures. He loves to cover nature, people, modeling pictures. He does that for joy, right? You remember in life, your job is not going to satisfy everything about you. You got to find what you also love in your soul to pursue, right? And this guy is coming to us with a lot of experience from the agile space. I mean, he's been around the space. Most importantly, this guy is also an active duty serviceman. And I want to salute his effort. I want to thank him immensely for his service to this great nation of America, right? He's a business agility manager. He's certainly certified trainer, right? He also has advanced certifications in the agile space. This guy has worked his way from the bottom, which is a scrum master, all the way to an agile coach today. He's a release trained engineer, right? He has enormous amounts of experience. And I just want each and every one of you to join me with a thunderous applause, please. Welcome my friend, my brother, Derek Nkeng. Derek, how are you? You probably are on mute. We can't hear you. You're probably on mute. If you look at the left bottom side, you should be able to see where to unmute your speaker. We still can't hear you for some reason. Can you hear me well? Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll take you. I'll bring you back in, and then you can come back in, unmute your speaker and come back in. Wonderful. So, right, this is one of the beauties of the industry, right? We'll wait for Derek. So, Derek will be joining us in a quick minute here, and stay put, don't move. This guy is going to be sharing some very important information. Trust me, don't move. For you who will be staying on, you're going to enjoy being in this presence. This guy's going to be sharing some really, really important information. Derek, can you hear me? We still can't hear you. I'm not sure. Do you have your audio on? If you look on the video frame, there's a microphone. Is that unmuted? Okay. Hang on a second. Let's see. Did you try unmuting it again? Let's see. Are you using an earpiece? No, you're just speaking directly into your computer.
What about now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, all right. Awesome.
Wonderful. I was just telling the televiewers. I mean, he's a big IT guy, so he better be able to solve that little IT challenge right there.
Yeah.
Right? How are you? We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful.
Good evening, everyone. Again, hey, I love this. I've been following your programs for quite a while now, and again, it's true. We met a while back, like years ago. So it's really amazing to see what you've been able to accomplish so far, right? It's not just about working; it's about giving back to the community, which is sharing that knowledge with, everyone to make sure our brothers and sisters are all set up, right? Awesome. So again, as you did introduce, my name is Derek Nkeng. I hold a couple of certifications, but we're not going to go into that because we're a little bit tight with time. We want to give people the opportunity to maybe send in one or two questions so we can also take it before we end the session. So now talking about certifications, right? We all understand a lot of Scrum Masters out there, or even those that are aspiring to become Scrum Masters, have this idea of, wanting to get a Scrum Master certification. But now going out there, you see that a lot of them do exist, okay? But now we are going to focus on the ones that organizations are really looking for. Those certifications that matter, those certifications that once they pop up on your resume, they raise eyebrows, right? So the first one is the SAFE Scrum Master certification. Again, what the SAFE stands for, this is a Skilled Agile Framework Scrum Master certification, right? The one thing I like about this certification is it covers a lot of different frameworks, right? We all hear about skilled agile, right? What is skilled agile? Skilled agile pretty much helps you scale across multiple teams, give a scrum master that knowledge to be able to work as a scrum master in the skilled agile framework environment, which is also an enterprise environment, right? And with the Safe Scrum Master certification, we get to touch different types of frameworks. We talk about Scrum, we talk about Kanban, we also look at XP, right? And it goes a little bit further. It gives you that organization, right, to pretty much work with not just a couple of teams, as most organizations do when they're doing like some kind of a pilot project with one, two, or three teams to see how Scrum functions within that organization, right? It gives you that flexibility to work with 1,200, even 200 teams, right? That organization, making sure the teams are all aligned towards a common goal, it's wonderful. So the Safe Scrum Master certification is a must-have. Again, um, all these employers that see you with this certification, they know that you have the knowledge to work in an actual Scrum environment and also to work with an organization that has already moved over to the skilled agile framework. Okay. So you're
Absolutely.
not limited to working just with the Kanban team. You're not limited to working just with the Scrum team. You have the knowledge to work anywhere. To me,
Fantastic, Derek.
mhm,
Fantastic. And just to add this before we move on to the next certification, right? One of the interesting things about this certification, this is like the welcome to the Agile World certification, right? A lot of companies, just like Derek says, look at this. And one of the beautiful things is that here at Icon IT, our Scrum Master program also, from starting from October, will be incorporating the certification in our program. What that means is we'll teach you the skill, we'll give you the knowledge, and then we'll also take you all the way through to getting a Scrum Master certification. I just wanted to add that because it's an
mhm,
important piece of information and
yeah.
it's value that we're adding to our prospective students. Right?
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Thanks a lot,
So
sir.
you just tell me I will slide on to the next one.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, so reason why we decided to bring up this slide showing all the different Scaled Agile framework certifications is that within Scaled Agile, you have different career paths, right? I know there is this, you know, a lot of people out there think that being a scrum master is just some irregular, right? After scrum, then what? Okay. Being a scrum master, just like we just heard, right? It's the starting point.
Yeah.
Once you have that certification, there are different career paths. Are you business minded? Are you more into, trying to develop a product? Then you want to start looking at the skilled agile
Product owner, yeah.
delivery certification. Then now you have this section where you're actually working with the stakeholders, right? Who have this idea to pretty much relate this to the team. So together you can work on something, come up with something solid. Now you start with the Scrum Master certification, you move over to the POPM, which is the product owner, product management certification. From there now, we start thinking about the lean portfolio manager certification. Now we're seeing those that are sitting up there, right? Not just the product owner, not just the product manager. Now we're looking at a program manager. We're seeing people that work with execs to actually define features and capabilities before we are even, going all the way down to the team. Are you someone that is more interested in what the team delivers, like actually working on the actual features all the way down to delivery? Because we all know as Scrum Master, you work with the teams, move that story to done, but there is a lot more behind the scenes. So you can be a lean portfolio manager, you can be a release train engineer, you can be a product owner, you can be technical and become a Scrum Master with the DevOps certification that coaches those that write code, not actually writing that code. Again, if you go on the Icon IT website, you will get a lot more information about this. Okay. All right. So moving over is the next best certification out there, which is the
You want me to move
Certified
to?
Scrum Master certification.
I'll go back to that. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Mhm.
Okay. CSM. Certified Scrum Master certification is offered by Scrum Alliance, right? Reason why employers also love this certification, right, is because just like Skilled Agile Scrum Master certification, you go through a 2 days class. So this 2 days class, what it's telling all these organizations is that you've actually gone through all the simulations. You've gone through all the different Scrum rituals, all those little things, right? Compared to other certifications where you don't actually have to go through a 2 day certification class. Everyone can take a certification exam. Anyone can take that. And I know there are people out there who will spend one night, just go, just read some book, go on and take the certification. But with the Safe Scrum Master certification and Certified Scrum Master certification, you cannot do that. You have to register with someone that is certified to teach these classes. They put you in the system, then you go through the 2 day certification class before you can actually have this certification.
I have a question for you, Derek, and I know probably this is going to help our televiewers understand, right, and their interest. Now, do you need both certifications? Do you need the Safe Scrum Master certification and the certified? One is enough, correct?
Awesome question. Awesome question. You don't necessarily need two, right? Again, if you have the SSM covers the syllabus for all the other certification, for PSM, for CSM, and all of that. You don't need the SSM. That's a Skilled Agile Framework Scrum Master certification. But if you have this one and you don't have the SAFE, you have to go take the SAFE. So now, to be in a better position to save money, go directly and try to have that SSM, which is the Safe Scrum Master certification, because it covers this one plus a lot more.
Fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about the professional Scrum Master. I believe from this point now, you're Safe Scrum Master certified, and now you want to take it a step forward, right? You've gotten into the industry, you've cleared a year, right? You've made a couple of thousands. Life is starting to feel good. You get your nice bands out there, taking 1 or 2 vacations, and you're thinking, now I got to accelerate the thing. I want to start finding a way to the top. Where does professional Scrum Master fit in?
Awesome. Again, what a wonderful question, right? Because I've heard a lot of our brothers and our sisters out there, right, looking at the PSM to be this, they hear that word professional Scrum Master certification, and they think it's the big deal, okay? But now guess what? The Skilled Agile Framework Scrum Master certification covers the syllabus for PSM and covers the syllabus for CSM. Syllabuses. Okay.
Wonderful.
Again, with PSM, you do not need to actually take a class to take this exam, right? All you need to do is just go and register. Okay.
Study and self-study.
You just do some study and you take that exam, right? So the difference between the PSM is that it's a little bit tricky, right? Because although they're not pushing you to take the 2 days class, right? Rather than you having like with CSM and SSM, you have 45 questions and you have 1 hour 30 minutes to go through that exam. But with this one, you have 60 minutes to answer, guess what? 80 questions. So that's way different.
That's about 45 seconds a question. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So it presses you a little bit. A lot of people fail this when they just start their first trial, right? People fail it and stuff like that. So they don't push you to take a class, but they cut down the time on you spending to answer these questions, which make it a little bit difficult, right? Again, I would say this, I've seen a lot of people get into the field by starting with this, then they move on to CSM, then they move on to SSM. But if you are smart enough, you will shoot directly for the SSM, Okay, that the Scaled Agile Framework Scrum Master certification. Because guess what? Although they are not, giving you like a tight time box or timeline, right? But they're giving you the knowledge, everything you need. They cover this syllabus, they cover the CSM syllabus, right? And then they have a lot more, which these two certifications don't have, and that's called API planning, which is the heartbeat of SAFe, right? Okay, moving over to the next certification here, we have the PMI, which is the Agile Certified Professional. This is being offered by the Project Management Institute, right? We've all heard of the PMP certification, right? This is a training body that actually offers that certification for project managers. Now they've created one to transition their project managers to Scrum Masters. So now they came up with this certification, the PMI ACP. This is also really good because it kind of like merges project management and also agile together. It gives you that mindset of wanting to stay on top of everything while you're still trying to be a servant leader, right? Again, this is also great. This is also a must-have certification, but it all depends on their career path you're trying to take within agile. Okay, you can still start with this one. This is great because it gives you a little bit of foundation on being a project manager while focusing more on you being a scrum master. Okay, again, some of these things are being covered on their Scaled Agile framework side. Okay, do we have any questions before I proceed so far? I'm just checking to see if people are putting.
Okay, do you have to renew a CSM certification? I think there's this question on the screen.
Do you have to renew a CSM certification like the SAFe? Yes, sir. You have to renew this every year, just like the SAFe Scrum Master certification. Reason being that they give you a lot of resources, right? During the year, they give you a lot of different resources. They give you templates to run your ceremonies. They give you they have like free web binders on there. They have some free toolkits that they give it to you to use and stuff like that. So normally you have to like renew the certifications every year. Again, they're always coming up with a new version, right? Always tapping into these different frameworks to see some of those loopholes that they can, put together, come up with better ways of working. So every year you have to really renew these certifications, pretty much.
Wonderful. So let's keep moving.
All right. So now within the SAFe Scrum Master certification, now we start talking about career paths, right? I love this section because it's not just reaching out to those that are aspiring to become Scrum Masters. Now we're seeing where Scrum Masters that are already working, they can start thinking about moving on to that next level, right? Now you have the SAFe Agiles. I love this one because it helps you to become a change agent, right? Now I'm talking about transformation. When you start working with organizations that are pretty much doing like a pilot project to see how Scrum works within that organizations, they choose a small department that's made up of maybe 2 or 3 teams. Then they pretty much implement Scrum to see how it works. Now they hire like the program consultants, they hire the agile coaches. There is that one person who works with them, and that's called that person who has the SAFe Agilist certification, which is leading SAFe. It walks you through understanding the mindset on how to work with an organization that wants to transition into agile, right? Where you work with the coaches, you implement it, you do a lot of like teaching, like workshops and stuff like that. It gives you the knowledge and to be able to understand people that are going through change, right? Because you have a lot of pushback, things that a regular Scrum Master is not going to have the opportunity to do, right? Although during interviews they will ask you those questions. Do you know how to do X, Y, Z? But in order for you to be able to do this, you need the knowledge that this certification is offering. Then the next one is Safe for Teams. Safe for Teams pretty much helps you to understand the different methods and techniques or tips and tricks that you can use to work with the team and bring them together. How do we work together as a team, right? You understand how to work them through the different levels of team development, right? Also understand the mindset, knowing that it's not an easy task to just embrace that mindset to work in an agile environment, right? You're being patient enough. They're giving you all the tools you need to walk through that process and work with the team and bring them in to be able to teach them the values and principles of agile and what it takes to work in an agile environment. Now we have the Safe practitioner also tied with the Safe for Teams, right? It's almost the same thing where you also have that knowledge to work with teams. It goes a little bit deeper, right? Little bit deeper, tapping into working with like the different skill sets that we have within the Scrum team. Also how you work with the product owners, how you work with leadership, trying to put those values and principles together and figure out the best way on how to set up like workshops to let the teams better understand it.
Wonderful.
The next one.
We talked about this a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Scrum Master already talked about that. So I'm not going to touch that. Release train engineer, right? I love this one. Again, Scrum Masters out there, I do not recommend someone that hasn't been in the field for a while, someone that hasn't been a Scrum Master to just jump and try to take this certification because it's going to be a little bit confusing, right? This certification right here helps you to be able to, work with this organization and deliver an actual product. We all know that the Scrum Master certification helps you to work with teams to get their stories right on now I'm talking on a sprint or iteration level, get their stories to done. And now what else? There's a whole process that goes on behind the scenes. Now we start talking about all the different kinds of testing, right? Integration testing, or the UAT, smoke test, all those sort of things that go behind the scenes. So the release train engineer follows everything. You, rather than working with the teams, you work with the Scrum Master. So you are on top of the Scrum Masters, helping them, providing that coaching, making sure that they're actually doing what they're supposed to do. And now at the end of the day, you follow that whole process to make sure that as a program that's as a release train, as an agile release train, you're delivering those futures, right? Or that achievable increment that you planned during your PI planning session.
Good. So Derek, here's something, right? And this question, I know certainly it will apply more for people in the industry, and for those who are not working as Scrum Masters yet, please just be a little patient. It will help you start thinking ahead, right? When we're talking about the safe release train engineer and the agile coach, what is the difference?
Okay, so agile coach again, agile coach is more on the soft skill side, right? Where you focus more on people's mindset, people's way of working, different techniques, tips and tricks on how to resolve certain issues within the team, or on how to move the team from one level to the other. You follow that progress. A release train engineer also, first and foremost, focuses on delivery rather than coaching. Delivery part of it, you get technical, right? You're more like not like a project manager, right? But you're more than that. Rather than having that bossy kind of way of working, you have that touch of an agile coach. But you focus on, are we actually delivering this product? What are the best ways of working that we can actually move this product, from start, from being able to commit to it to all the way deliver this product at the end of the PI program increment.
Wonderful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So product owner.
Product
And,
owner,
and
product
and when you
manager.
talk about the product owner, I would like you to make the connection between the Scrum Master, the release train engineer, the Agile coach, and the product owner, so our televiewers can visualize where all of these people fit and how they connect to bring
Okay,
together the finality. Thank
awesome.
you.
So product owner is pretty much that person that works with the stakeholders. Again, stakeholder, customer, client, right? Or consumer, these are the same people, right? These are the people that either work within that organization or are the clients or are those that actually benefit from this product that we are working on or this increment that we are working on. So the product owners, they all always have the meetings with the stakeholders. First, they try to understand what needs to be worked on. After that, they have their elicitation sessions where they're putting all these features together, they're understanding it. At times, they will start breaking it down into some kind of user stories, but not like actual user stories. Then they come to the team and they pass across this knowledge to the team. They tell the team what needs to be done and the timelines that they have to deliver. Now, Scrum Master comes in by working with the team, making sure that the team understands what the product owner is saying, like understand what needs to be done, and now helps the team. That's facilitate the session where the team comes up with the how. That's how to actually work on this product. And now, once the team is working on this product, trying to um, um, come up with an actual increment, the Scrum Master is going to face one or two difficulties. This is when the Scrum Master reaches out to the Agile coach. Now, the Agile coach comes in to help the Scrum Masters with techniques on how to work with the team members, offer like some workshop, get them in the right mindset, help with different techniques on how to resolve conflict and all those sort of things, right? While they are doing this, they also have to make sure that they deliver this product, right? Actually come up with this increment. And in doing so, you have someone in the background that is constantly checking the work. What team A is doing, are they actually gonna get it done? So we can integrate it to what team B and team C are doing. Then we bring it together, right? And that's a release train engineer. Now you have the release train engineer coming in all the time, tapping in, hey, we were supposed to deliver this. What is holding us back? Because we have this release coming up in maybe the next month or maybe next 2 months. What is Team A doing? That is going to be part of this release. That's going to add value to this increment. What is Team B doing? What is Team C doing? So now you see the Scrum Master at the center of everything, working with the product owner, working with the Agile coach, and working with the release train engineer. So it's very essential for you to start with that Scrum Master certification. Then you move to these different areas. But now here is the catch. You see all these these descriptions that ask you if you know how to write user stories, ask you if you know how to do this and that, right? So Scrum Masters that move forward to get the product owner, product manager certification, it gives them the knowledge they need, right, to be able to help the teams to come up with better user stories. Example, you have a product owner that joins a team and they have no experience. What do you do? And these are the people that are supposed to bring what the team needs to work on, tell the team what they have to do. So they're bound to fail, right? So Scrum Masters, we want to be equipped with everything we need, which is a certification like this adds to what the knowledge you already have, but it helps you to bridge that gap between the team and the product owner.
Wonderful. Thank you, Derek. Again, dear televiewers, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been an interesting conversation. Again, I just want to remind each and every one of you, if you're watching us from Facebook, from LinkedIn, you're watching us from Instagram, or all the way from YouTube, subscribe to our channels. You get information like this, right? Imagine, I know for many people listening, this is eye-opening, even for some people who might be Scrum Masters already, right? You were just worried only about your little cocoon where you work, and you didn't realize that this is an ocean. The opportunities are amazing. It's incredible, right? Also book a one-on-one appointment You just have the link on the screen. You click on that link. 5 things you need to do. You give us your name, first name, last name. You give us your email, your phone number, and you click on the calendar. You will see dates and times. You choose a date and you choose a time, and we can have a one-on-one, no commitment, free conversation on how to go forward, right? So, Derek, I believe we have another 10 minutes to go. So, let's see if we have some other interesting government practitioner. You tell me which of this.
DevOps. Can you?
DevOps. Okay, you want it? Okay. Yeah.
Very important. I'm actually calling on all the Scrum Masters out there that are working. I know we've said we don't want our Scrum Masters to be technical. This safe DevOps is not the regular DevOps, that talks about CI/CD pipeline and you being able to write a code and all that. Okay, DevOps introduces you to another layer, right? Which together forms a CDP. That's a continuous delivery pipeline, which has continuous exploration, continuous integration, and continuous deployment. But now, what SAFe offers is not you being a SAFe agilist that writes the code, but you having the knowledge to coach those that write the code. Now we're seeing a shift in the industry from actually hiring those that are wanting to hire those that have the skills to write the code, but now to hire more those that don't have the skills to write the code, but they can manage those that write the code. So the SAFe DevOps gives you the technical knowledge to be able to recommend tools, to coach those that write the code. So it's a pretty interesting certification. The first time I got introduced to this, it changed the way I looked at things. Now I started understanding after the Scrum Master helps the team to move the stories to done, what happens? You will be surprised. 90% of Scrum Masters don't know what happens behind the scenes, right? But there is a whole lot. And this whole lot, you have certain groups of teams that work on this. You have mostly or mainly the shared services. Now I'm talking about the operation side. The Scrum Master they put to work on that side is always the most experienced in the company. Why? Because they just learn these things from scratch gradually, right? But now you have a certification that gives you that knowledge, helps you with that technical knowledge of Scrum to know
fast forward your ability
and all of that. If you go to an interview and you or you put this on your resume, they call you up for an interview, trust me, you will not miss that interview. If you miss that interview, is because like some companies out there, they set up interviews when they already have their candidate. 1, 2, maybe you had the knowledge, but you did not just have that charisma. You did not just have that
express yourself in a way to convince. Yeah.
But
fantastic.
You cannot go wrong. Like
that's a good point.
Yeah,
absolutely, Derek. And we'll have a chance to have you again just to talk about interview process and all of that, right?
Yeah.
So I know we'll come back to that at some point.
Okay. Do you see that question?
Yes, I see that. Go ahead and respond to that. Yeah.
Okay. What is the difference? Could you help us understand the difference between Agile Delivery Lead and a Scrum Master? So some organizations, like some of the banks that I know, they use the word Agile Delivery Lead, right? It's a fancy, again, Scrum Master, Agile Delivery Lead. I think there is one other word we use out there. These are fancy words that all play together with the Scrum Master role, right? And now with the Agile Delivery Lead, rather than just being a Scrum Master, they want the Scrum Master to focus a little bit more on delivery. Let them be part of it. Example, you have some teams that are part of a release. When that release is taking place, the Scrum Master is not even involved. They don't know what's happening. They've done the job. Now we see organization wanting the Scrum Masters to be involved a little bit more, knowing what the team is actually bringing on the table that adds to that functionality they're working on, that they're trying to deliver or that they're trying to release. So it pushes you a little bit more on the delivery side. While the actual Scrum Master role is just there to facilitate, like we all know, being a servant leader and all that. So now you're starting to see that it's not okay to be just a regular Scrum Master. You have to be a good Scrum Master. And being a good Scrum Master, you have to be able to have the knowledge to coach those that are actually writing the code, which comes with the DevOps certification. You have to have the knowledge to work with the teams and walk with them all the way to that point where they're doing that release. Okay.
Correct.
So,
And
yeah,
understanding what the release is about.
yeah.
Right.
Adding this to your skill set will make you, like, I know a lot of you are looking for raises out there, right? From 110, you want to start making 130, 140. This is how you get that raise, by actually being able to perform these roles and responsibility to assist, not just as a regular Scrum Master. We have one other question. I already have my CSM certification. What is a good option I have on getting a SAFe certification? Which can I do? Again, it all depends. Since you've had the CSM, right? You've had the basic knowledge on what it means to, perform your roles and responsibilities as a Scrum Master. Now I'll put it to you. Where do you want to focus and lay your focus on? Do you want to, like, just be a servant leader, which means moving to that next level, being an advanced SAFe Scrum Master? Do you want to be a coach? Right? So now we have to start thinking about getting you to the SAFe Agiles, right? Where you work with a team from scratch to transformation and all of that. Do you want to be a little bit technical? Now we start talking about getting you to the CDP, which is a SAFe DevOps. SAFe DevOps, it's still there. The first two lessons are still going to talk about being a Scrum Master in a safe environment. Do you want to be more on the product side? Now we start looking at you getting in, right, to first play the role of a Scrum Master, then going towards the POPM, and now the Lean Portfolio Management certification.
Okay.
Do you want to focus on delivery? Now we start talking about first getting the SSM certification, then we start moving you to the RTE certification. Again, get on the website, right? Get on the website,
Right.
book an appointment with Gustav. He is going to set up a session where we can draw a roadmap for your career development.
Absolutely. You're right. So just go ahead to the link, click on the appointment link. Please bring up the appointment link. That's one. The appointment link, please. You click on the appointment link and you'll be able, exactly. Click on the one-on-one appointment link. You'll be able to book an appointment with us. We'll have a conversation on where you want to go and what you're trying to do, right? And certainly, but it's very important to understand, especially for those who are thinking, who are just listening to the information, who haven't joined the industry yet. All of this stuff we're talking about, Derek has been very eloquent. He's trying to give you a picture of what lies ahead. The beautiful thing is that in the industry, especially around the agile space, every time you improve on your knowledge and your skill, you see the return immediately. It's not something where you go get a DevOps certification and you still speak. No, as you get it, you get a Scrum Master certification, you see how they start calling you up for interviews. You get a DevOps certification, you see how the demand starts increasing. And they need people. Companies have about 300,000 IT jobs open in America every day. You go on Google right now, you click Scrum Master jobs open.
And
you see about 12,000, right? So Derek, I know we had our televiewers for about an hour. I want us to leave them with an impression, which is important, right? So just give them. So from my understanding of everything you've explained today, so anybody leaving this live show today, the goal number one, if you're not involved, get involved in the Scrum Master space. Number two, if I understand well, your number one certification that you have to target first is the Skilled Agile Scrum Master. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Sir. And let's have some closing words from you before we call it a day.
Okay. Awesome. So I just want to say again, thanks for giving me this opportunity to reach our brothers and sisters out there. I do understand that we have a lot of people wanting to get into the industry. At least now they have some knowledge on where they can go. We have other brothers and sisters that are working out there as a scrum master, right? And they're thinking about, how to move up to that next level. Now they have the various certification they can take here. Again, we have our brothers and sisters. This is very important. Listen, those that are working as contractors, right? Where you work as a contractor 6 months, and after that they don't renew that contract. Getting certifications, getting the knowledge, being able to apply it with your teams. These organizations, they see all of these things. They take it into account. This is a good way for you to move from becoming a contractor to a full-time employee, right? Again, we are always here to serve, always here to work with you, come up with a roadmap for your career development, career growth, and all of that. Just feel free to reach out. Again, just like Gustav said, you have the website
Absolutely.
right there. Book an appointment. I'm telling you again, this is life changing, right? I got to this point in life today thanks to those that gave me the information.
Yeah.
Lack of information is a problem, right? It's a major
The
setback.
big one. Yeah.
Now we have someone that is helping the community, pulling people from all the different angles to actually pour the knowledge and have one area where we can get all of this, and which is Icon IT. So again, thanks to all the viewers, and thanks to
Absolutely, Derek. It's a pleasure, my dear televiewers. Thank you so very much for spending this time with us. Typically, our shows are about 35 to 40 minutes, but as you can tell, it
oh,
was worth the time, right? It was
yeah.
worth the time having Derek on the line. And those who will be pursuing, we are going to just stay abreast. That's why I need each and every one of you to join our platforms, because in the next few weeks, we'll be launching a weekend boot camp just around certifications, the Safe Scrum Master certification. Okay, it will be a 2-day boot camp, most likely on weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We'll give you the information, but you will just go through the process and will help you, give you the highest chance to be able to be certified. Remember, the industry requires certifications. Okay, it gives you an edge, it gives you the ability to compete, and it gives you the ability to distinguish yourself from the pack. All right, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you haven't subscribed to our Facebook communities, please do that, because that is where we share information on the upcoming bootcamp class, which is going to help each and every one of you get certified. Whether you are working already as a Scrum Master or you're not working already, you know that certifications are key. And we are not only going to be doing the Scrum Master certification, but the Safe Scrum Master certification is what we're going to be doing. And eventually, over time, we're going to build in more certifications as we go forward. But this is what we're going to be starting with. And guess what? Lucky you. If everyone registers, subscribes to our channels, and I go check and everyone has done, then I'll have Derek handling that class. If not, then we'll probably have to bring Derek's assistant. I'm just kidding, yeah. But wonderful. Thank you so very much, everybody.
Thank you.
We are really, really, really glad to have you online. And I always want to leave you with this, right?
Yep.
I don't know where you come from. I don't know what your life has been thus far. I don't know who has been speaking into your mind. I don't know how your background and your upbringing was. I don't know who might have told you along the line in life that you're not able, that you're not capable, that you don't have the ability to deliver at the highest level. But I want to tell you this today. If you don't believe anything else we said tonight, just believe this one thing I'm begging you. You are enough. You are capable. You are able to perform at the highest level of corporate America. So go out there today, be blessed, never stop being a blessing, be well, and we'll see you soon. Have a good night, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, whatever part of the world you are. And we're glad you were online with us. Take care, everybody. And Derek, thank you so much for your service to this great nation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your service to the community. And we'll be back with you on this very platform in a few months from now to continue this conversation. Bye,
Thank
everybody, and have a good one.
you too. Bye.